Last night, I was lucky enough to see an early screening of Paul Thomas Anderson's latest film, One Battle After Another, and my god, was this one hell of a ride. Like the title suggests, I will not be spoiling anything specific from the film in this review, since it doesn't come out for another few weeks, but I will say this is by far PTA's most action-packed film yet. It is just full of high-intensity car chases, chaotic shootouts, and just overall high-octane moments. But at the same time, this was probably the most comedic film that I'd ever seen from Paul Thomas Anderson, with maybe the exception of Punch Drunk Love. And I saw this in a completely packed theater in 70mm with amazing sound, and it was just absolutely the perfect environment to see this film. There were constant laughs throughout the film and some extremely absurd moments that I'm sure will definitely be talked about on social media once this releases. The acting was stellar across the board. Leo's character was hilarious as he played a washed-up revolutionary who's constantly getting high but cares deeply for his daughter. I was really surprised at how well DiCaprio was in such a comedic role, and, he absolutely crushed it. But I'd say one of the best performances in the film came from Sean Penn, who plays an immigration colonel. He did an excellent job of crafting this very unusual character, and he definitely had some scenes where I could see him being in Oscar conversation this year. Tiana Taylor was also electric in this, and she just really carries the first half of this film. And although Benicio del Toro's role was pretty small in this, anytime he was on screen, he was just terrific. But I would say that the most surprising performance was from newcomer Chase Infinity, who I am positive will have a very successful career after this film. She had tremendous chemistry with Leo, and she really held her own in this. I honestly felt like I was watching a seasoned actress and not somebody who was acting in their very first film ever. Not to mention having to do that alongside this insanely talented cast. Another highlight of the film was the score from Johnny Greenwood, which I'm sure most of you have heard a snippet from in the original trailer for the film. It's very minimalistic in a way and features those single piano notes that really build tension during those anxiety-filled moments. The screening that I attended had an open Q&A with Paul Thomas Anderson and the entire cast afterwards, and so it was really interesting to hear about Paul's vision for the film. He mentioned that he had been working on this idea for 20 years, and that it just took some time for it to all come together the way he had envisioned. He said that he'd always wanted to make a big blockbuster film, and he'd been inspired by big budget car chase films as a kid. He also mentioned that he wanted this film to feel like a modern Western, which I thought was actually a pretty interesting way of categorizing this film. So all in all, One Battle After Another is an action-packed thrill ride with tons of humor and great performances. I highly recommend seeing it in theaters, and if possible in 70mm or IMAX. There are also very limited screenings where it's being projected in VistaVision, which I think is super cool since that hasn't been done since the 1960s. So check that out if you can find a screening. Let me know what you guys think of the film in the comments, and I will see you all in the next video.